Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day and welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast. Dizzy, welcome aboard.
Thanks, Rhodey. Great to be here, mate.
We're up to episode 65, Diz.
Yeah, pretty solid achievement.
Yeah, we're kicking goals and we have a big guest today, Jack Jacobs, aka AuzzieFisha of YouTube fame.
Yes, yeah, we very much look forward to having a chat with him later on. You know what episode 65 is, Rhodey? You've knocked up the half ton and you've just settled back in. Yeah. You haven't got carried away. You've knocked a couple singles. You might have just tucked away your first boundary after your 50, or you might have tonked one over the fence and you're ready to hit the 100. And
you're looking forward to the ton, aren't you?
You are. You're starting to silence the crowd a bit because they thought they might have just caught you at a slip of concentration after you get the 50, but you're away here. So with that being said, let's get into our regular segment, Rhodey, obviously oranges and lemons. Why don't you give the listeners your orange for the fortnight that's been?
Diz, I'm going to say, look, the October long weekend is always a big one in everyone's calendar, given there is such a long break between June and October, and this year's no different. We're going up the river with a few mates, staying at Murray Bridge, probably catch a few carp off the bank, and you're going away, Diz, to the shack. Is that right?
Yes, that's the go. I'll be getting a bit of FOMO missing out on the river trip, but I'll be glad to be over at the folks' place, wetting a line sometime, no doubt.
But the bonus of this year is the bonus public holiday.
Oh, yeah. Bang. How
good was that?
Well, it was really good.
Sorry, rest in peace the Queen, but we're happy with her public holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. We have joked a fair bit about this, that unfortunately when Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II did pass, the first question most people asked was, what's happening to my public holiday? Or are we getting a public holiday out of this? But yes, like you say, rest in peace. So yeah, public holiday coming up, always a good time.
And having a look at Prince Charles's finger, mate, we might get another one before too long. He's a swollen operator.
I'm not sure we're going to have a national day of mourning for Prince Charles. He's not going to get a huge run. We might if who's the other one after Charles? I think it's William, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, William, he might do a few years.
Yeah.
He might notch up a few.
Anyway, well, we shouldn't go
let's
there.
Let's not preempt any deaths. Rhodey, my orange is the boat show is not far around the corner. We always look forward to this one. It's always in the calendar. Tracy Tito running a great show. Good promotional gear by Tito. That's the go, isn't it?
Yeah, Diz. And what's the big news this year?
We are live on the stage.
Yes, Diz. We're doing a live podcast all 3 days.
I have been saying, so I'm just wrapping up my media commitments for the day. Of course, I've been on the news this morning. Long day. Started at 3:45 a.m. It's now 9 p.m. I'm slightly delusional. It's taken quite a few drugs to get me to this point, but I'm here.
We are going to talk about the boat show in the news, but Diz, that probably leads into your lemon. Tell us about your morning, mate.
Yeah, the lemon was definitely the break-in. So phone call, 3:45 this morning, alarms going off. All of our breakage alarms were going off, so definitely somebody had smashed something. Got down there and somebody had just sledgehammered the front door in and helped themselves to some dispensary stock. So she was an ugly, ugly day and a very long one because I couldn't leave since about 4:15 this morning. So I'm just coming up to, what's this? Is this my 19th hour of being awake?
Dizzy's fully lost the plot for anyone playing along at home.
I don't even know how many hours I've been awake.
And that's got nothing to do with the lack of sleep. That's just the attention going to his head after he made it on Channel 7, 9 and 10 News. I'm sick of seeing screenshots, and if he had any idea about anything, he would have put a podcast cap on.
I needed something on my head because I've joked with a number of people that I've definitely got a face for podcasting, not TV appearances, but all good fun nonetheless. Rody, let's move on from that because this is a fishing show, not a breaking into pharmacy show. What was your lemon?
I'm going to go another flop of a grand final. I think that is 3 out of the last 4 years have been big defeats one way or the other. And look, everyone gets up and about. There's still plenty of beers to be drunk, but we would prefer a better game.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, sure, there were some happy people about Cats winning. They were probably the dominant team for the best part of the year, but I would have liked to see a better game for the last game of the year.
Certainly, Diz. That's the lemon. So let's keep moving. Let's get into the merch, Diz.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've talked about this time and time again. I guess probably what we might do this episode is just throw out a bit of a sort of call for action from our listeners, I suppose, about what they'd want to see in the merch range.
Yeah, we're happy to.
Do you want to see a sweatband? Like, I don't know. We can do these things. Do you want to see a keep cup?
If we had a lot of listeners that wear filleting gloves like Dizzy, we could maybe get a range of them.
You might want to see something random like an iPod charger. I don't know what you might want, but I'm just putting it right out there to see whether there's anybody that's got some random idea that might stick in the merch department, because clearly the hats, the beanies, the hoodies, the stubby holders, the crew necks have done well, but we're always looking to push the envelope here on all the gear but no idea, Rody. So for this week's merch segment, we might just throw it out there.
All right, guys, that was short and sharp, and Dizzy, that went on a bit of a tangent, but we'll keep moving.
You've been burying your head in the books once again, Rody, and we mentioned this in the oranges, but tell the listeners all about the up-and-coming Club Marine South Australian Boat and Fishing Show, which is not far around the corner.
Yes, Diz. So it's another one of these 2-in-1 shows. So it's the Boat and Fishing Show combined with the Adelaide Four-Wheel Drive and Adventure Show, held October 21 to 23, Friday to Sunday at the showgrounds. And as we spoke before, all the gear but no idea will be getting on the stage, getting a few big guests live.
Yeah, absolutely. We won't give anything too much away just yet, but in the sort of days and weeks to come, we'll be announcing who's going to be up on the stage with us. And of course, the best way to really view all of that is obviously to get yourself down there. Pre-purchase tickets.
I think you can get them online these days, Diz. It's a pretty high-tech event. And, big shout-out to Tracy Tito, who's, I suppose, the face of the fishing section. She's getting it all together, and I know she's got some big names lined up. I think Flacky's going to do a bit of a rigging tuna lures segment. There's a few others that sound pretty good. But we are going to get Tracy on the next podcast, I think, Diz, and have a bit of a preview.
Yep, sounds good, mate. And always a big weekend for Let's Go Fishing Boys.
Yeah, they'll be there, I'm sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Rody, what else we got in the news this week, mate?
All right, Diz, the next one is an independent report from the state government, which says that the South Australia's aquaculture industry is worth $200 million across the 2020 and 2021 financial year, Diz. So that is interesting. It mentions this report that the tuna was the single largest sector, which accounts for close to half of South Australia's aquaculture production value at $91 million. Dizzy, do you have the numbers in front of you?
No.
No, that's good. I'm going to make you guess. What was number 2?
Prawns.
Oysters. 22%, 43 mil. Next one?
Prawns.
Marine finfish, 17% or 33.56 million. And fourth and final in this list,
crayfish.
abalone.
No way.
9%.
How did prawns not make the list?
9% or $18.47 million for abalone, Diz.
Wow.
Anyway, it also talks about an increase in particular with the South Australian oysters following hatcheries recovering from the shortage caused from the 2016-17 Tasmania Pacific Oyster Mortality Syndrome outbreak. So that sector has increased, as has the abalone sector, Diz.
Yeah, unbelievable. We still a bit shocked prawns didn't make the list.
A little bit, but anyway, if we want to play any more guessing games, I'd do a bit more research next time. It also says here, one more thing, direct employment in the aquaculture industry is estimated to be around 1,224 full-time employees with 1,538 flow-on jobs, with around 67% of these jobs in regional SA.
Do you think it's interesting that Vibrio didn't take a bit more of a hit?
Certainly didn't get a mention in this this report on Persa Diz. And the other thing that we'll quickly mention is that it's forecast to grow by 36% to 272 million by the 2023-2024 season as the industry continues its recovery from COVID.
How good's that? How good is that?
So, yeah, basically what that article tells us is your little Vibrio carry-on was just carry-on.
It might have been. Clearly short-lived and not as devastating as it was to my toilet sort of habits for about a week.
You were
nasty.
not good. All right, Diz, all you've wanted to talk about tonight is prawns. Here's your chance, Diz.
Who's protecting the South Australian prawns, Rhodey?
So this is another bit of Persa news, Diz, and they have put a precautionary ban in on the import of crustaceans, including bait, worms and burley from New South Wales and the Northern Territory, Diz. And this follows some recent detection from routine testing of those sort of baits of white spot disease in black tiger prawns within a biosecurity facility at a prawn farm on the New South Wales north coast.
Goodness me.
And why do they include Northern Territory, Diz?
Oh, I don't know, mate.
Northern Territory is included in the new restrictions as a precautionary measure as the brood stock from both New South Wales and Northern Territory is both located at the same facility. Mm-hmm. It's interesting, isn't it?
I would have thought the waters in Northern Territory would be slightly different to the New South Wales.
Well, look, the prawn brood stock's the same, mate. I'll tell you that right now. And that follows on. So these restrictions are in addition to previous import restrictions that have been in place since 2016, when there was a number of examples of the disease being detected in prawn farms in the Logan River and Moreton Bay areas of southeast Queensland. So that ban continues.
Well, there you go. Very interesting, but I certainly don't like the old white spot disease.
Look, Diz, I don't know much about it, but I don't think the prawn industry is that keen on it getting over it.
No, they hate it. They hate it. Righto, Roddy. Well, the next news article we have coming out of this week's episode is, basically it's an evaluation of smartphone application to collect recreational fish catch estimates, including an assessment against an independent probability-based survey using South Australia as a case study.
Yeah, Diz, this is...
Do you want to just repeat that back to me?
No, there was a lot
Chief?
of words there. But basically they're testing how accurate it can be. Is that correct?
Yeah, it seems to be that they've been given some funding to establish how accurate and how useful this type of thing might be for the South Australian recreational fishing community and whether that could be expanded upon in other states and territories.
Yeah, and this is, it says $1 million here, Diz, is the budget from the University of Adelaide as the organisation.
I think it was University of South Australia, but
No,
my
you're
mistake.
wrong.
My mistake. Edit that out.
And
but it is interesting because I would have thought to build a really good app that it would cost a bit of dough.
yeah, $1 million seems probably cheap in the scheme of things.
Like I think you'd find that $1 million in that type of project, particularly for some big wigs at Uni of Adelaide, probably wouldn't go a long way.
Yeah, exactly right. And the only other thing I'd say, I think you see these numbers trickle through on the Facebook every now and then. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I think there's been a bit of chatter about it recently, mainly because I think some people are skeptical that it is accurate data because you probably got a huge amount of people who have been fishing for years, never recording information on smartphones, apps, these sorts of things.
And I know the numbers that I've seen of how many whiting or how many of whatever particular species have been put into the app seem very, very, very low. So I would say there's only a very small proportion of people using the app at the moment. It's obviously not mandatory. It's just an option. So, it'll be interesting what happens with that data and how accurate it is.
But it's mandatory reporting of snapper catches.
Yes.
Now, I know you don't have to do that via the app. You can phone up. But you'd think if you were going out snapper fishing to save the hassle of phoning someone, you'd navigate your way around the app.
Yeah, I think
and
you
if
would.
they said, that's hypothetical now, if they said that was in place moving forward, mandatory reporting of catching of snapper in South Australia, you'd have a huge uptick in usage.
Yeah, you would.
And if that became something that was commonly done to target certain things or gather information on certain things, I mean, imagine if they said we're going to target how much money recreational fishing people spend on a weekend away on average.
Yeah.
They could get some good data out of it.
They certainly could. And that
It does obviously
comes
just take
back to that
people
report,
using.
hopefully, that we talked about, I think, last episode, that Recfish hinted at.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see what happens in the future with that.
Yeah. Anyway, watch this space. Rhodey, there's a SARDI event coming up in Renmark.
There is, Diz, the 27th of October, 7 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. at the Hotel Renmark. It's called Fish and Flows, and it's all about finding out how our native fish population is doing in the lower Murray-Darling Basin. So it's a bit of an update on things. And that's run by the Commonwealth Environmental Water Office and the SARDI.
Very good.
So that will be interesting, Diz.
So if you're in Renmark, get down there for
I saw this and thought, it sounds quite interesting, might go along. Renmark's probably out of my travel zone on a Thursday night.
Probably a fair way to go for a Thursday night.
Yeah, Diz, it is. All right, let's keep moving, Diz. We are going to get our guest on the line. His name's Jack Jacobs. He's otherwise known as AuzzieFisha on YouTube. As we will discuss, he is the partner of Chaz Charity Selleck, who we had on episode 56. So as a bit of a battle, we're going to see who gets the most downloads and the most love on their particular episode.
Very lucky to be joined today, Rhodey, by Jack Jacobs, the man behind AuzzieFisha YouTube channel. An absolute gun on the fishing side of things. Absolutely smashes the West Coast, Rhodey. Glad to have him on. Jack, thanks for coming on.
No worries, guys. Cheers for having me. Pleasure to be on.
Yes, Jack, we're looking forward to getting into all things you've been up to and a bit of a rivalry you've got going within the relationship. But we'll touch on that in a minute, Jack. So we're going to start with our 5 questions, and we want you to tell us about your best fish.
Yep, no worries. I've caught a few good fish that I've been pretty stoked about, but probably the one that takes the cakes. Pretty recent catch. Earlier this year, finally got a big mulloway, which is a fish I've been chasing for many, many years, and made a bit of a series on my YouTube channel if anyone wants to sort of have a look and see how much it took. But it took me a lot of years to catch, and the time and dedication went into it. So yeah, I was super the fish like that, and definitely a catch I'll remember for a long time.
Always good to tick one of them off. I think both of us are yet to get a decent sized one, but you're not wrong. It takes a fair few hours to get some of them, doesn't it?
Yeah, not wrong. Like, you can get lucky. Obviously, you always get lucky when you're fishing, but unfortunately took me like the long way around, and it's just a lot of time and effort goes getting up to the far west coast, and also heaps of effort catching all your fresh bait, and just like all the money you spend getting up there and time and effort. She's a bit of a hike, but it's well worth it when you get that fish of a lifetime, that's for sure.
It's a big old money pit fishing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, not wrong. That's where money goes, every cent, that's for sure.
That's right. Mate, tell us your favourite thing about fishing.
Favourite thing? That'd have to be just like the whole adventure of fishing, I reckon. Like the places you go and the people you meet along the way. Like, made some lifelong friends just out of fishing, so that'd definitely be my favourite part. And just like the endless journey it is. Like, we've all got our bucket list fish to catch, and we're all going to keep trying to catch bigger fish. So it's just endless journey and never stop loving it.
Yeah, that's it, Jack. We do love that sort of stuff, mate. Now, tell us, what is your first fishing memory, or what got you into it?
I reckon first fishing memory would just have to be going down for beach days with mum and dad when I was really young. Like we just went for family days down the beach, and it'll probably just be catching little tommies and salmon trout on whiting rigs off the beach, just on just simple cockles and squid off the beach. Yeah, that'd have to be my first memory of fishing, and probably wasn't the thing that got me into it. I only got into it many years later, so that was probably just an obsession off the rocks I had with a few mates catching salmon on lures. So that's probably what got me obsessed with it, and haven't looked back ever since that.
Yeah, it's always some of those earlier fishing memories you have, and over time you just get the bug, don't you? And then you can't shake it after that. Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah, not wrong. Definitely, once it catches you, it doesn't let you go. So I'm stoked. I don't know what I'd be doing if I was into fishing, but definitely stoked I found it and stuck with it, that's for sure.
Absolutely, mate. Now tell us your favourite sort of fishing and why.
It would have to be just anything to do with lure fishing these days. I've definitely taken lure fishing like with full force and haven't looked back. But probably my favourite form of fishing would have to be like casting poppers and stick baits at like your species like GT, all that sort of stuff. Because I've only managed to do it once, but best fun I've ever had, and that's the fishing I always look at on social media and YouTube, and just really obsessed with that form of fishing and can't wait to do more of it. But also like flicking lures for the flatties down here. Love doing that and doing some offshore jigging when I get the chance. And also don't mind like soaking baits for mulloway in the summer. That's definitely right up there on the list.
Yeah, beautiful. Jack, you did touch on your flathead fishing, and I have had a look at your Instagram, and you've got some bloody good flatheads. So we are going to touch on that in a minute. But before we get to that, let's hear about your funniest fishing story, or tell us about the one that got away.
Yeah, we've got a few funny stories, just like with mates when the fishing's slow and the beers start coming out and smack talking starts. But I'll probably just start with I reckon one that sort of takes the cake for me is just I lost quite a big kingy off the rocks a few years ago, and just going to be forever devastated with that. It was like the most hectic fight I've ever had. It was on heavy gear, and it was absolutely brutal for the time it lasted. It did 3 big runs, and it didn't do me. So I thought I was starting to gain on it, but no, I just ended up busting my leader. So I was just so devastated about that. Even thinking about it now, it just breaks my heart. But that definitely takes the cake for the one that got away.
It's almost like PTSD when you've got those big fish that you lose, isn't it?
100%. And then I lost another good kingy a few months later after that. So it's just been a nemesis for mine, I reckon. So hopefully get a big one day.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? The hours, and unfortunately you lose a few along the way, and they're always devastating, and you don't seem to forget them either, because they do really get to you when you lose a big one.
Yeah, 100%. You just got to just learn from it and use it as motivation, and just makes it all the more sweeter when you finally do get that good fish on the deck.
Absolutely, mate. And fantastic. Well, thanks for getting through those questions with us today. Tell us about your YouTube channel for all the listeners out there.
Yeah, okay. So I started it quite a few years ago now. I think my first video I made was probably close to 11 years ago. I remember I bought like a crappy $30 video camera off Kmart, and then just edit it on my computer on Windows Movie Maker, I think it was. I think it was like catching like an eagle ray off the beach or something. And I don't know what really got me motivated to do it. But when I first started fishing, I sort of watched a bit of YouTube, and this bloke called Black Tip H, I watched a lot of his fishing. He's in Florida over America. And he had heaps of sick videos, so I just sort of wanted to be like him, and he's really big now. But I reckon just as the years progressed, I just started I quite enjoyed filming. my fishing adventures, and it also provides memories for years to come. And I reckon it's just good to look back on. You go fishing so often, sometimes you forget some of the fishing adventures you go on. But I reckon it's good you sort of have a bit of a timeline on your fishing adventures and sort of your journey through your progress of different fishing styles and everything like that. But I haven't uploaded for a while yet, but I hope to get back into it on the next few trips coming up. I want to get a bit of footage. So but yeah, I really did enjoy making YouTube videos. It's just a good pastime, and yeah, it provides good memories that you can look back on.
Yeah, and Jack, I'm just having a look now on your YouTube. You've got 13.9 thousand subscribers and you've got a hell of a lot of views. Do you know what your total number of views is up to?
It's on there. I'll have to have a look at it, but
Okay.
it's almost 4 million, I think, all up.
Oh, here it is. 3.7 million. I found it. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's taken a lot of years, that's for sure. Like, I remember starting off, it took me like ages and ages to get like the first 1,000 subscribers, and then the trick is just to be like consistent with it. And I reckon like if you just consistently upload, you eventually get like a bit of a following that sticks with you. Then it just sort of snowballs as you go along.
Well, that's really good to hear, mate, because our YouTube channel, I think Rhodey did a filleting video. We've got 10 views.
I'm not sure that ever made it up, but
So, it's really pleasing to hear that once we get the first 1,000, it might start snowballing because we are miles behind.
Oh, no, it's all good. It takes a while, but yeah, sometimes like people just like what you upload, and it's just sort of all the YouTube algorithm and all that. It's funny how it all works, but I'm sure you'll get there. Don't worry.
I've just had a look and we're up to 67 subscribers.
Yeah, that's a start.
You got to start somewhere.
All right, so everyone who wants to jump on and have a look, give us a plug. So it's AuzzieFisha, is that right?
Yeah, that's it. It's spelt kind of funny, but if you just look up AuzzieFisha, I'm sure you'll find it.
Yeah, beautiful, Jack. Thanks for that. Now let's talk about your Eyre Peninsula fishing. Is that where you've done all your fishing, most of your fishing? Tell us about what you love about it.
Yeah, yep. So I've grown up on the EP, originally from Tumby Bay, but I'm living in Lincoln.
Yep.
So I reckon fishing in EP is absolutely great. Like it's I only stick to a few species I usually target through the season, through different seasons. So just being winter, I've pretty much only just fish for flatties, which has been really fun. And then coming into spring, I'll be a bit more focused on kingfish, and then into summer I'll definitely be spending a lot more time out on the west coast chasing mull away on the surf beaches, and also offshore fishing when I get the chance. And then autumn's pretty much flatty fishing and all that sort of stuff. So I only really target a select few species, and I chase them pretty hard. But fishing all around on the EP's good all year round. No matter what you want to target, there's always something to chase, and there's just the locations you go here. Like it doesn't take much to get away from the crowds, and also going out camping is really good as well. And there's just always fish to chase when you want to go out and have a flick.
Yeah, no, we spent a bit of time over on the Eyre Peninsula about a year ago now, almost. Went over and did the shark cage dive in Lincoln, then kept going to Streaky, and you're not wrong. Like there's just some amazing spots, heaps of different fish to target. Like we had a great time in Streaky, but then could get offshore from scales. So we had a ripper time, but yeah, we have only really scratched the surface of what's possible over there.
Yeah, 100%. That's the go. Like there's just so much to do, and once you do scratch the surface and start to work out the place, it just improves on that. Because like any spot, it takes time to work out the like how to catch the fish and all the best times to go and methods to use. But even if you don't catch fish, EP is just an awesome spot just to sightsee and have a wander around.
Yeah, and you did touch on sort of your flavour of the month at the moment being the flathead. Can you give a couple of flathead real amateurs a few tips?
Yeah, okay. Well, I've only just sort of started to work them out myself, but I I didn't really do it on my own. I had quite a bit of advice from a good mate who's the flathead lord around here. Well, that's what I call him anyway. But it's just a matter of because they're quite easy fish to catch. Like, they're an aggressive fish that, you know, take most lures and everything. So just a key point is to look for the right bottom. Like, for quite a few years, I was just fishing like sort of the wrong areas. I'd get a few fish, but none were very big and they were pretty infrequent. But once I sort of learned what to look for from one of my good mates, my catch rates went right up. So I reckon the key is just to find the right bottom. They like sort of, I don't even know what the weed's called, but it's like a fine seagrass. So there's quite a few flats here that have like that fine seagrass, and then once you find that, it's just a matter of flicking around till you find a patch. And yeah, I like to use soft plastics. I've got on the weedless option, like the hooks, so that really helps and saves you getting snagged all the time and keeps your lures pretty much weed free, so you can have your lure in the water more often in the strike zone. But yeah, I reckon the main thing is just finding the right bottom, and once you do that, it's just a matter of putting in the time and just casting away.
Yeah, beautiful, Jack. So Dizzy was frantically writing those tips down, so we'll be sure to get into some land-based flatties in the future, mate. But what we want to touch on next is, you've just been telling us on the phone before we started the podcast about a couple of recent trips. So you've just been camping, and before that you're in the Northern Territory. Tell us about both those trips and what you got up to.
Yeah, so I'll start off with the NT. So I flew up there to catch up with my misso Chaz. She's been on the potty before.
Yeah, but we've got her on episode 56 for those who want to go back and listen to our Charity Selleck.
Yeah, that's it. It's pretty good yarn, so definitely give it a sus. But so I went up there. It wasn't really it wasn't specifically a fishing trip. It was mainly just catching up with her and like spending some time with her because she's up on placement up there. But we went fishing a few times. We went to a local creek just outside of Darwin a couple times, and we're fishing that night, which is a bit sketchy, but we still went, and it was a pretty good adventure. I hooked a decent barra, and I unfortunately lost it, which I was devastated about. But we tried again. We went fishing with one of the lads at Charity met up there that I'm taking her fishing a few times, and we went fishing. I think it was the Finesse River, I think it's called.
Yeah.
We went flicking up there under his guidance. So he's just sort of letting us know what to do and everything like that. And we're flicking our way up the river, and it gradually got to like a really small, like sort of stream. And we got a couple sooty grunter, which was pretty cool because we're fishing like, stream was probably only like 2 meters wide and like 40 centimeters deep. It was quite shallow, small stream, and we're just flicking these little lures over these logs, and these sooty grunter were coming out of nowhere and just smashing it. So that was pretty exciting to experience that sort of fishing in shallow water like that. But besides that, the fishing was pretty slow. Like, we had a couple of sessions where we didn't catch anything, but I was still pretty stoked just to get a chance at a barra. I know some people, I've heard stories, fish there for years and not get a chance, but unfortunately I blew my chance, but pretty keen to get back up there and give it a crack. But so that's pretty much a Darwin trip, fishing wise anyways. But the most recent trip, I just went up the west coast fishing because it was been blowing a gale here for the last couple of days, and I thought I might as well fish and not stay home. So I went up there, and it was pretty sheltered where I was staying, so I was able to win for most of it. But yeah, I was just mainly going for flatties, and I got a few flatties, no real big ones, but I got a couple nice ones. And I reckon that'll be my last flatty flick till next season. So yeah, it was good getting away for a few days and not sitting around home, just making the most of the time off and catch a few fish along the way. But yeah, definitely keen for next flatty season, that's for sure.
Yeah, beautiful, Jack. So put the flatty rod in the rack and get the kingfish gear out, and we'll be sure to keep an eye on the socials, and I'm sure you'll get some big ones.
Yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully get a few big kingies. That'll be really good.
All right, now this is what everyone wants to hear the answer to, Jack. We've had Chaz on, as we said, that was episode 56, and she told us all about her fishing prowess, and we've seen her on the front of SA Angler, mate. We want to know, have you got her covered?
I think I do, only just. That's what I say anyway. She's other thoughts, but she's definitely a very good fisherman, and she really knows her stuff, and it's real fun going out fishing with her. Gets quite competitive at times, and we might take it a bit too seriously, but it's always good fun, and it's definitely awesome fishing with your partner and sharing such a good passion with each other.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. We might even put a poll out or let people know how many listens we get on each podcast, and the winner takes all or something. But no, you're right, mate. A bit of healthy competition out when you're fishing's always a bit of fun. Just in case you're wondering, I normally outfish Rhodey as well, so that's pretty standard.
And is one of you a sore loser, or you both take it pretty well?
No, we're probably pretty sore losers, like especially if the other one starts giving us a bit of flack. It's it gets pretty sour at times, but it's all friendly competition, but we're definitely very competitive and want to catch the most fish on the day.
Fantastic, mate. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, telling us about all your fishing adventures. And, like Rhodey said, we look forward to keeping an eye on the socials and what you get up to next, mate. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Thanks for having me on. And, appreciate the offer and can't wait to listen to more podcasts coming up.
Beautiful. Thanks, Jack.
Always you lads. Catch you later.
Great to chat with AuzzieFisha, Rhodey. I'm not going to preemptively say who I think got the most amount of downloads, but I think it might be this episode.
Oh, Charity will be a bit offended.
Maybe.
She's the SA Angler star, you know.
Yes, this is true. And it was a great episode when we had Chaz on. And they've been doing some pretty cool fishing, hey?
Yes, they have, Diz, and I'm sure they'll catch plenty more fish between the two of them over the coming months, so they're well worth a follow on their YouTube and social media.
Oh, and they live in such a great part.
They make us jealous though, don't they?
Yeah, they certainly do. Rhodey, let's get stuck into the fishing report because there's a bit to get through here. We've got some things coming up, a few things that's been happening over the long weekend, the unexpected long weekend, but let's get into it, Rhodey. The squid have been firing.
Yeah, Diz, everywhere you look, you're seeing them pop up on social media. We haven't been out getting amongst it ourselves. You probably have a crack at some squid over on Yorks this weekend, I'd think.
Yeah, I reckon we'll try and get into them. Obviously, we like those clear water days, nice and calm, or if you can get into a sheltered bay where you might have some offshore winds, that sort of thing. So we'll wait and see, but always good getting a feed of calamari.
And they seem to have been going pretty hard across the state, so we're not going to sort of look out for any particular locations. I think they're doing well universally.
Yeah, they are. What I would say is Shane Mensforth's recent fishing update in the Advertiser did mention that there was some really good catches at the Wool Bay Jetty.
That's a hot spot.
Which is a hot spot. That's exactly right. Rhodey, speaking of SA Angler and the Mensforth, so they've shared a Metro photo.
Yeah, for kingfish.
Yeah, interesting.
With a jig in its mouth.
Very interesting.
Said Port River, I believe. So make of that what you will. Are they pulling our leg? They seem pretty trustworthy to me.
Are we seeing more sightings, Metro, of some pelagics?
All I know is that photo would have got a few people down the boat ramp on a Wednesday or Thursday night whenever it come out.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have got a lot of people.
And the other thing I saw them share talking about kingfish was they said something about every man his dog going up to Port Augusta for the public holiday.
Yeah.
It was a good day. It would have been a good day out there. And I'm sure that post also put a bit of pressure on the boat ramp at Port Augusta.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the weather was just phenomenal that day.
But I haven't seen a lot of reports of the kingfish, but as we talked about last episode, I think the first few to get them of the season probably keep that pretty close to their chest.
Yeah, they would. They'd be hoping to get at least a few trips in without anybody knowing too much about it.
Yeah, exactly right.
And then as word gets out, so be it. You'd also probably think at this time of year they're a bit skittish, a bit hit and miss maybe.
Yeah.
But, watch this space in the fishing report because I'm sure there'll be more to come.
That's it, Diz. And the forecast for this weekend is a little bit warmer weather, so hopefully that means some of our summer species are getting pretty close.
Yes, and generally the first or the early ones of those to rock up are, of course, the garfish and blue swimmer crabs. September.
Yeah, Diz, that's got an R in it, so that should get you crabs.
Yes, what's before September?
August.
No R.
Yeah, good.
Unheard of catching blue swimmers in August. You might catch a stray one.
Did you learn the months of the week in what, year 1? Maybe year 2?
But yeah, look, expecting the warmer weather to get these going, metro coastlines and elsewhere. Brody, another little item coming out of the fishing report this week. Did you see that photo on Facebook, that monster salmon caught on the flats at Marion Bay?
No, I didn't. What good one was it?
Oh, it was huge.
It's rare for me to miss something like that.
It was huge.
What'd they get it on?
Absolute
Lure
beast. Nah, it was a lure.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah, it was an absolute monster. It would have pulled some string too because it looked like he was just fishing for little ones.
Yeah, just a big stray.
And you know what happens when you get those big ones? They fight well on light gear.
They're good pound for pound fish, aren't they?
They are. So anyway, that one made the report this week. Another one that comes up in the report around this time of year is us flagging the fact that the cockle season is not too far away.
Yes, Diz, that's coming up pretty soon. And the only sort of sour note on that one is that we're heading up to Goolwa for a buck show. And we haven't been able to, they put up a post saying any suggestions for activities for the buck show. And, there was golf and lawn bowls and pub crawl and whatever else. Our little suggestion down the bottom of get everyone down there, get your 300 cockles and get some bait, bit of
Start
a bait collection
vacuum
day
sealing.
wasn't that popular.
No, it wasn't. And I don't even know why. I mean, it's always a great day down there, friends and family. You might pack a barbecue. You might put your beach cricket bat in there, your wabobber. What else would you put in there? Your kite?
Yeah, hopefully not too many kites because that means wind, mate.
But, always a good day down there.
But they are closed for about another month, I think, aren't they? 31st of October, I think, is the last day of the closed season. So we're getting in a bit early on those ones, but just to keep you all in the loop.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones as well that don't forget, like they often do get some detections of E. coli in cockles and they close it down for a little while. So you don't want to sit on your hands on that one.
And the other thing is they're worth a bloody fortune, so you'd be silly not to have a crack at them.
Yeah, but of course, if you do need them, then head on down to Let's Go Fishing, get yourself on a 10-kilo bag or a bag of dry salted ones or maybe some nitros. We've got options aplenty.
What about last time we went over to the shack, your old man asking us to get him a box? And we said, Davo, check the fridge, mate, freezer. We literally just put 10 kilos in for him.
Yeah, and he's been buddy filling up on those fumigated Indonesian things or wherever the hell.
He wasn't happy with the imported ones. He bought them, so that's his own fault.
Brody, another item to make the fishing report this week has been the unintentional but seriously good catches of snapper on insane fishing charters. Did you see the footage recently?
I did, Diz, and that's hopefully a good sign for what news could be to come in the upcoming months. Fingers crossed.
Yes. Forced them to move even. They just couldn't. They were just plagued with them.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have in a couple of months, Diz.
Hopefully. That's right. Okay, what do you do on the unexpected Thursday?
You
Public
go
holiday.
fishing, Diz.
You do, and Cadell took that advice. He went down to Rapid Bay Jetty, probably with his old man, previous guests on the show, and weren't they fantastic guests? They got some squid, some Tommies on their brand new combo that they picked up from Dan and the boys down at Let's Go Fishing. And I wonder whether they got any on their homemade soft plastics.
They could have, Diz. They didn't mention that in the post, but what I did notice is Cadell was looking good in his beanie.
Wasn't he?
And I think his parents might have commented saying it's his favourite fishing beanie and it brings him all the good luck.
That's the way.
So if you do want to learn a bit more about Cadell, he was our Reeling In Junior Anglers Ambassador guest in episode 59.
Yes, he was great. Him and his Dad came for a live podcast recording, which is a real treat. We showed him around a bit, showed him the podcasting gear, and they gave us plenty of soft plastics for their troubles while they're here.
They did, Diz, and we have to get some fish on them, don't we?
Absolutely, Rody.
All right, last one, Diz, is the barrels.
Yeah.
On the way out?
Seems to be. Not many reports of any. They seem to have moved on from Port Mac a while ago, and they had a bit of a run again at Portland, but... Yeah, some reports coming through from where?
Further over Victoria, like out Bass Straightway past the Heads and Western Port. So I think the season's probably coming to an end in South Australia, or for sort of waters that we can access a bit more easily just across the border.
Yeah, that's probably fair to say. But, like we have mentioned on that episode, is sometimes they get another flurry.
You never know, Diz, you never know.
So you just watch this space. You have your gear ready to rock and roll. You line a few things up and ready to go. Brady, good fishing report.
Yeah, that wraps it up for the fishing report, mate.
What else do we got?
Tackle item. What do you got for us?
Oh, gee whiz. This is a doozy.
What do you got?
Well, we talked. So the first item in the fishing report was about how the squid were firing.
Yep.
Now, this is going to be a bit of an interesting one, because when you see a professional squid fishing person, you don't tend to see them use this piece of equipment. But I'm a real fan of it.
Yeah, what is it?
Because if you're out there, you might be whiting fishing, you might be doing something or other, and you just want to have a dangling lure out there.
Yep. What do you need?
You need a float.
You do.
So you need a squid float.
And it's probably, you're right, it's not for those days where you're really actively fishing, you're casting, you're retrieving. It's more for you doing your whiting fishing, your gar fishing, whatever it is, and you have a float out the side as a bit of a bonus.
Yeah, because as we know with squid, they school up.
They do.
So, it might be that you have a couple of floats out. You might get one, then all of a sudden you might quickly snap a lure onto a swivel and then start flicking in the area to try and pluck off number 2 and 3.
And that has turned our day before too, Diz. We've been out there before having a bad day on the whiting. You catch one squid, it becomes 2. All of a sudden there's 3 or 4 and you've, turned a shit day into you've caught a few.
Yeah, that's right. It's always good. As we've said, good feeding squid. Everyone loves salt and pepper squid. Plenty of ways to cook it. Of course, you want to use your squid easy if you're cleaning it.
And the other thing about getting a squid in when you're whiting fishing, Diz, is it can turn your fishing around when you cut off a few tentacles. They're very fresh, straight out of the water.
Yeah.
And we know that, a change in bait can turn your whiting fishing day around.
It can. You want to get those big, long tentacles off the squid, the milkers they call them.
Yeah.
And you might even just sort of pound it a bit to sort of mince it up, just soften it a bit for the squid, for the whiting. So, you're right. Always
I think
a good option.
The last time we had a good day on the whiting, I caught heaps on the same bit of squid, remember?
Yes. Yeah, no, you have been known to do that a few times. But we won't talk about that too much. You'll get a big head. Rody, that wraps up the tackle item. You know where you can get these squid floats, don't you?
Yes, Diz. Straight down to Christie's Beach. Don't rob the pharmacy.
No, don't rob the pharmacy. Bypass the pharmacy. You don't want to go there. You want to go straight to the boys down at Let's Go Fishing. They'll have one for you. They'll be able to tell you how to rig it up. Get yourself on a nice little hand reel, and then you're ready to snap one of their lures on and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, Diz. Well, hopefully you get some squid this weekend and you can tell us all about them.
I'll take a photo. That's it. Rody, where can the listeners find this episode? It's been a good one.
Diz, Facebook, Instagram, straight onto the Buzzsprout. You can get us on Spotify. You can get us on Apple Music. There's links to this episode everywhere. With the long weekend coming up, we're sure you're all heading out fishing, so make sure you tag us in your fishing pictures.
Please do.
Or even better, your fishing stuff-up pictures.
Yeah, just any fishing pictures.
Your mate does something stupid, falls in the drink.
Yeah. That's probably going to be you guys.
Anything like that, we want to see it.
Get stuck into it, guys. Thanks for listening today. Let us know what you think about today's episode, and don't forget my little call to action in the merch area.
Yeah, get involved in that, and a big thanks to AuzzieFisha. Thanks, Diz, for joining us.
Thanks, mate. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Rody and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.